All right. Hi, Carrie.
Hi.
I just want to thank you for meeting with me today to do another interview.
Yep. It's nice to be here.
I really enjoyed what we talked about last time. We talked about your work, and that was just a really nice interview that we had.
Yeah, it was nice I rambled a lot, but it was nice to get things off my chest.
Right. I just really enjoyed hearing about your work and how passionate you were about it. I feel that way too in my job. Is that something you want to talk about today, or do you want to talk about something different?
Well, work's always one of those things I can always talk about. It's stressful, but I like my work, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So on one hand, you like your work, and on the other hand, it's kind of stressful.
Yeah, definitely. It's I don't know. I like working with people, and I like interacting with customers and stuff like that, but not necessarily like to deal with daily stresses and stuff.
Notice you're using your hands a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. That's so weird, huh? I didn't notice that. This is like gonna make me think about no, I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things. Let's see here. Well, work. So lately, have been doing a remodel and just finished, and it's been very crazy. And we've been they broke our AC. Oh gosh, they broke our AC. It's like 90 degrees in our kitchen for like 4 days. It's really bad. And my crew members are like really frustrated with me, and I'm just like, it's not my fault, and I can only do so much.
Right.
And they get really angry, as you can imagine. So, and then let's see, what other things have been going on at work. So I had to have a conversation with my assistant manager because he's not been really holding his own. I know last time I talked to you, I talked about Crystal, but Beth added in, my boss Beth, added in another assistant to my team, which is nice because it's always nice to have two assistants, and I've worked with him previously, but he's not like interacting and doing his job the way that I need him to. That was a kind of awkward conversation to have with him because I've known him for like 2 years, and he's not a bad guy. He's really friendly,
right?
But it was super uncomfortable and hard, because he's not performing where I need him to be. And when I compare him to another assistant manager, it's rough,
Yeah, so it's hard because he's not doing the job you need, and on the other hand, it's nice to have that other person.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, he's friendly with people. He's friendly with our team. But the problem is that he doesn't assert himself as a manager, and so he doesn't take the time to like teach, coach, which what I need. I need him to make sure we're ready for our inspections. I need him to make sure that we're good on this, we're good on that, and he's not doing that. So I had to have that conversation with him and basically tell him that if I didn't get the qualities I was looking for out of him soon, that I would actually probably ask him to step down. So,
yeah. How was that for you?
Asking him to step down? It's hard, because you, especially your managers you work with, you invest in them emotionally because you want them to work for you. And I don't think you can have really good employees, especially lower people directly under you, unless you invest in them emotionally. And so it was hard because he got emotional, and he's like 51. He just had a birthday, and when you see a 51-year-old man who's below you get emotional, and you have to maintain your level of composure, even though you still really like the person, it's a difficult position to be in.
I really appreciate you sharing that with me. Feels like that can be a rough thing at work to deal with.
Yeah, it's always the people things that are the roughest. So, and then like when we talked last time, I explained to you about like leaving Lebanon and stuff, and I've cut myself off a little bit more emotionally with the team I have now. And been making an effort to like just keep it work based, try to get to know them a little bit so that I have something to share with them when I'm talking to them.
Right.
But when you know like Jim for 2 years, the whole time I've worked down in the South area, it's definitely been interesting, to say the least.
Interesting. I noticed you smirked there.
Oh. Well, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did, didn't I?
You did.
Interesting. I wonder if I was implying in my head. And now I had to roll back here. So if I was implying in my head that working with Jim or just working in the South, but I'm probably gonna say working with Jim because of the situation, and stopping and realizing because he was recently added to my team, how much he doesn't do.
Right.
And how much he hasn't done, and all the time I've had him, comparing him to another assistant who busts her butt for me. Yeah, maybe that's what that was about. Yeah.
How was that for you to point that out?
That was weird.
It was weird.
I guess you don't realize that you're making, like you said, my hands. You don't realize you're talking with your hands, and I guess I didn't realize I smirked, but I guess it's true. It's something to think about. Right. Maybe I should pay more attention to that, because maybe when I do those things when I'm talking to people and I don't realize it.
Right. No, I do that too.
That was super. Oh wow, interesting.
Is it okay that I asked you that?
No, it's all good. No, definitely. No, I just started to think now if I, when I'm talking to my crew members, if I have like that nonverbal communication that, that might imply something else.
Right.
Something to think about. Yeah. I'm gonna have to definitely self-evaluate.
Yeah, you have to go back and think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I just had, I have this crew member. He's so intelligent, right? I honestly don't understand why he's working for us, but he's a little kooky. Just one of those strange oddballs.
Right.
He's a great guy, super nice, but he has this, like, way of thinking he's right all the time. And you know, he has valid points when he's having conversations, but the way he comes across is like a know-it-all. And so I had to pull him in the office, and he was very insistent that his tone, because he spoke to my assistant manager in a tone that I didn't appreciate, very just like disrespectful. And she didn't do anything, which is something I addressed with her later, but I pulled him in, and now that I'm thinking, when you pointed out the smirking, I definitely arm crossed and like sat there because he was being very like very confrontational. That's what I'm looking for, confrontational. And like he told me, he's like, I don't know how you can discuss your tone with me if you have a condescending tone yourself. And I said, I don't think I have a condescending tone. And I said, I talk to everyone the same way. And it was funny, though, because I know, I even told myself later on, I was like, man, you sat there with your arms crossed the whole time, which is super defensive, and it doesn't come across open. And I was like, maybe I should stop and think about that. But you said that, and then popped out the interaction, which was really crazy. It went further, but that reminded me of it. So, yeah. Yeah, I told you I talked to my assistant manager after that, and she's the one that when we talked last time, I really like her, but she was always seeking self-validation. She's getting so much better about just being more assertive and being more like just taking care of stuff and then coming to me and telling me about it, and rather not like constantly needing me to approve, which is so great. It takes so much stress out of me. Now I just have to work on the other one. But I pulled her out back, and she was like, I just was explaining to her the situation I had just experienced with the crew member in the office, and then how she should have said something and whatever else. She just looked at me and she's like, I don't know who he thinks he's talking to, and I just started laughing. She says the funniest things sometimes. Probably what makes the job so enjoyable, you know. So.
I really like you sharing that with me. It sounds like work can be hard, but there's those little things that make it good.
Okay. People's humor, definitely. That's what makes it to the point where it's like livable in the stressful days. Like Memorial Day weekend, we had no working headsets, no working computer systems, taking only cash. Yeah. And the only way we managed to get through that was by just like holding on and getting through with everyone and just managing to make it through. Yeah. So, sorry, I know it's just, but other than that, you know, humor. I mean, in the stressful times, that's what matters. And it was funny because she said that to me, like, and she said it in that, like, who does he think he's talking to? And I just started laughing, and I was like, she's totally awesome. And it's true, because in the stressful moments, the humor is what gets us through it. And people's smart-ass comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's always nice. Have some really funny, probably inappropriate crew members who say things they probably shouldn't. And I probably shouldn't let them say, but, you know, it's how we live through it.
Do you think you get through it without the humor?
It wouldn't be nearly as fun.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I think anyone can get through it without the humor, right? You just have to put on a different face. But, I mean, I don't think if you're not laughing and you're not, you know, enjoying it somehow, then I don't think it would be worth it. I mean, I think if you had a different job, like my job pays my bills, it provides me with money, it takes care of me, right? But it's not where I want to be forever.
Right.
And if you had a job that, you know, you really wanted to do, like I'm sure doctors don't really find much humor throughout the day, but if they wanted to be a doctor growing up, then they don't need humor, they find it in different aspects, right? So, and for me, humor.
Right. So on one hand, you're saying it's like you can either love your job in a way, and on the other hand, it's like if you don't necessarily love your job, at least you find something good or humorous in it.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. You have to find something that's, what's the word I'm looking for? You have to find something enjoyable in it, right? If you don't, you're going to be miserable.
Right. So something you want to go to work every day to do, or at least have a good time, in a way.
Have a good time.
Right.
Or know that you get to work with awesome people that day.
Right.
Right? That's the only way to get
That's
through
the
it.
only way to get through it.
Yeah, and you know, like the days you know you don't have awesome people, you're like, oh, great.
Today's gonna suck.
Or that's when you turn around and say, today is going to be a good day.
Yeah.
Just try to go into it with some positivity, but more than likely it doesn't end up a good day.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah. Speaking of humor, I have this, my old assistant manager. We talked kind of about her too last time, Kendra. She just got promoted, which is super exciting for me, because I was her mentor, and she took over my old store with all my lovely little people in it, who I miss so much. And she got to, anyway, getting to know her more and stuff like that, and it's been fun and humor, because she literally can crack a joke at any point in time, shock a whole room full of people. She was just sitting the other day in a manager meeting. She still needs some polishing. She's young, and she's a little bit. She needs a little bit of etiquette training. I mean, I guess etiquette, maybe not etiquette, but she just needs to be polished. And she says some things that are just kind of like, you did not just say that. So we're sitting in a thing, and she was talking about a crew member that really pissed her off. And she's like, that mother effer. Okay. Like, and that mother effer threw away that, even when I told her not to, or they turned on the music or something. She was going off about him. And literally every manager in the room, including my boss, was like, what? And we literally all just started laughing. Like, what is, like, you know, and even that humor, you know, the humor you find in really awkward moments. That's good too.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, but it's nice though, because now that she's equal to me, it's great because we can hang out.
Right.
Because she's funny. As craziness, she is funny. And as her boss, or someone in a position above her, really weren't technically allowed to be hanging out together.
Right.
Which sucks. I understand it though. It's something I'm trying to teach her, because she kind of hangs out with people below her, and I'm just like, listen, you're putting yourself in a position that doesn't allow you to be the best boss possible. So I know she's promoted. She's like, so cool. Like, we went to the beach today, and got a wonderful sunburn, and but getting to hang out with new people and spreading it, because I don't get to spend a lot of time outside of work meeting other people, because pretty much my life is revolved around work, coming home, hanging out with a couple friends that you have, and then turning around, same repetitive cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know you light up when you talk about not work.
Oh yeah, come on, come on, anytime, like not work. Yeah. Oh, did the beach thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Well, anytime I don't have to go to work, I mean, it's good. You know, last
Mm-hmm.
weekend, Kendra and her fiance, we all went to the drag strip in Woodburn.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been, probably never would have gone. Had a great time.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, that was some like those things where if we're gonna do something that doesn't revolve around work. Now, if I could only just get them to stop calling me on my days off, that'd be great. I was telling my assistant manager, Jim,
Mm-hmm.
yesterday. I was like, listen, when I was an assistant, my boss never answered the phone for no one. She made them call me to fix the problems. I'm like, I'm gonna make you guys start answering the phone because I have a shift leader.
Mm-hmm.
Love her to death. She's crazy, like crazy in a good way, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And she calls me probably 2 times or 3 times a week at 11 o'clock at night without fail.
So that's Stevie?
Uh,
Which one's that?
Joni.
Oh, Joni. I get those names mixed up.
Stevie's the opener. And she calls me a lot too in the mornings.
Yeah.
Yes. But Stevie's the opener who calls me a lot. Joni's the closer who calls me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Stevie's been a little less because I've been empowering Stevie. Plus, I've been telling Stevie I kind of went off on her, but I had a pretty firm conversation with her
Mhm.
about waking me up for stupid stuff is irritating.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like it could wait.
Or something they can
let's-
solve themselves.
Yes. Let's evaluate what can wait and what doesn't need to wait.
Right.
And so, yeah, I told her that though. And, but Joni, yeah. And so I told Jim, I was like, listen, like, I'm going to start making them call you guys. Like, you guys need to start answering your phones. Because when I was an assistant manager, I was the one that got all the phone calls. Like,
Right.
I had to deal with all the problems. My RGM, she enjoyed her days off. Nobody bugged her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I was calling her, she maybe would answer the phone. If not, most of the time she didn't, and I just had to deal with it.
Right.
Figure it out.
Right.
Do the best possible thing, and other than that, just move on.
Right.
So that was something. Oh, I'm gonna sit down with them tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
both of them together, because
Mhm.
I haven't really sat down with them together. And
Both of who?
Crystal and Jim, my assistants, and I'm gonna sit down with them together and kind of talk about my expectations again. And what I'm expecting from them. We're in a new restaurant, beautiful new restaurant, and we're gonna be busier.
Mm-hmm.
And so I told her, I was like, I'm gonna tell them, like, listen, this is what I expect.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get it done, there'll be consequences.
Right.
You know, and I lost my train of thought. I was going somewhere with that. Oh, phone calls. I was getting there. And I'm going to tell them, listen, I'm going to tell the shift leaders, you
Mhm.
guys are the first people to call, you better answer your phones, because I don't want to be woke up anymore, and I don't want to have to stay awake or randomly be halfway asleep and get phone calls, because I'm always one of those people who always has their cell phone on.
Right.
So, yeah. I mean, it's funny. Just, if you think of compare it. I mean, I was a little nicer to my assistant managers because I know what I had to go through as an assistant manager.
Mm-hmm.
I had one manager who trained me, who worked me like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
6 days a week, 60 hours, like a bunch of extra days, always staying later,
Right.
or always sending people home and expecting just me, her, and one other person to run the restaurant. Like,
Right.
it was exhausting. And then I had another manager who was so tough on me about people and making me solve problems. Great skills. I learned wonderful things from both of them the hard way, I feel
Right.
like. And so I feel like I always guarding them a little bit because I
Mhm.
never want them to experience that, but maybe I should just kick them a little bit. Like, not kick them, just just push them.
Like a little bit tough love.
Yes, a little tough love. Yeah, get there with them and be like, hey, so this is how it's gonna work now.
Right.
I need a life.
Yeah.
That doesn't revolve around this place, so I can go to the drag strip and to the beach and not get
Right.
phone calls, because I pulled out my phone today at the beach and had 6 text messages. Actually, one of it was a group text with my boss, so not a good thing because I didn't have my phone out or around me, and they had called me and my boiler was down, and he texted my boss and me at the same time in a group message. She solved it. I hope she wasn't unhappy that I wasn't around to answer my phone, but
Right.
life. So, who knows?
Do you think she was unhappy just because, as a manager, you're saying you have to, like, always be kind of available, but then it's like you need days off too?
Yeah, I hope not. I only responded about 45 minutes after everything happened, and I mean, it's a little late. He already made the right decision by contacting my boss at that point because I hadn't answered.
Mm-hmm.
My phone ended up on mute somehow, which is super unlike
Unlike you.
on me.
Yeah.
So I must have just hit the side button and turned it down because it's almost always on vibrate at least, or if not on volume, so I can hear what's going on.
Right.
So it was definitely. I was like, oh, there's nothing like pulling your phone out and having 9 text messages. 3 of them are non-related, and 6 of them are like, and I'm just like, oh crap.
You're like, oh no, what do I do?
Yeah. Well, I just told him, I was like, sorry, my phone was on mute. Thank you, Beth, for taking care of stuff, because all of those text messages, she had taken care of things. So,
That's good.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, she was like, we'll talk tomorrow, and I was just like, well, that's ominous, but hopefully it's not a negative thing. I don't know. She's been a little bit on me lately, about my performance.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think I'm just tired because I've been working a lot, like 6 days a week.
Right.
So, just gets a little overwhelming.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely. So,
well, thank you for sharing with me.
yeah.
I really enjoyed hearing all about work and just how stressful it can be, but I also enjoyed hearing about, like, the fun times you have that aren't at work. How do you feel like the conversation went, or interview? I feel like it was more of a conversation, but...
That's more, I feel like more conversation. That's good, definitely. It's always nice to just be like, "Beep," let it all go.
Right, kind of like a vent session.
I had some guests the other day, literally. She was awesome. I know you're wrapping up. She came in, and I was the day the computers and everything were down. She was like, I want to tell you something. She's like, peel the banana. She's
That's
like,
how she said?
Yes, and she showed me it. She's in a wheelchair, and she was super awesome. And
yeah.
she was like, peel it. She was trying to calm me down because I was talking so fast because I was so stressed out, and everything was like, in my brain.
That's so awesome.
She was like, peel the banana. And
so you
I
do
did
that
it.
now?
I did it like right in front of her. She's like, just do it. She's like, peel it. Like, you're going to peel a banana. You just shed the skin. And I literally just took a deep breath, and I felt like so much calmer. So.
You're like, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, I did. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to use that. I went around and showed like half the people in my
that are freaking out.
I was like, peel the banana.
That's so, it's like the things you can, like, learn from people, though.
I know, it was so sweet of her. She could totally tell I was stressed. And I was like, you're so awesome. Thank you.
So
I learned
cute.
something for life right there.
Right.
Peel the banana.
It's funny how people, like, help you. Like, people help you, like, even when, like, you don't ask.
Right.
But they just, like, they notice you and, like, your stress.
Right. Definitely nice.
No,
So.
that's really cool.
Yes. So, anyway, back to what you were asking me, which was...
Which you are fine. Like,
Which I am...
You're wrapping it up, too.
Yeah, no, but it was, like, just making sure that...
Right.
Yes, I had a good time, and definitely always nice to let go of stuff. So, fantastic.